O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahurquit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Imagine booking a romantic honeymoon to Egypt. You know, you're expecting the sightseeing, maybe checking out the pyramids, getting a mild sunburn.
Right, totally normal vacation stuff.
Exactly. You are certainly not expecting to, accidentally inaugurate an entirely new spiritual epoch, one built on finding your true will instead of repenting for your sins. But that is exactly what happened in 1904.
It really is a wild story.
Yeah, so in today's deep dive, we are unpacking a stack of esoteric historical sources detailing the origins of Thelema, just to understand its central holiday, the Feast of the 3 Days.
Yeah, and to understand this highly specific feast, we really first have to look at the totally unexpected rule-breaking incident that sparked it.
Right, the Cairo working.
Exactly. So Aleister Crowley is deeply entrenched in this strict, highly trained Golden Dawn-style ceremonial magic at this point. He's in Cairo with his new wife, Rose, and he decides to perform a minor ritual, basically just to amuse her with some elemental spirits.
But the operation just pivots completely out of his control, right? Because Rose, who has literally zero formal magical training, spontaneously enters a trance.
Yeah, she just starts channeling a deity, eventually identifying it as Horus.
Yeah.
And Crowley is, well, he's incredibly skeptical. I mean, he cross-examines her, but she passes every single test.
Oh, wow.
She even takes him to a local museum and points at a very specific artifact, the Still of Revealing. And the empirical anchor Crowley needs is right there on the placard. The museum's inventory number for the still is 666, which is, a number he had identified with since childhood.
That is just wild. It's like a classically trained concert pianist being completely upstaged by a friend who has never even touched a keyboard.
Yeah.
It proved the system didn't require that elite patriarchal training to access. It just required pure, spontaneous receptivity.
Right, and that spontaneous channeling completely shattered Crowley's elitist framework and essentially opened a massive cosmic conduit, which brings us directly to the feast itself, because that conduit led to a strictly scheduled 72-hour supernatural dictation.
Over 3 days, right. So April 8th through the 10th, 1904. And it was precisely between noon and 1 p.m.
Exactly. An entity named Arwes dictates the book of the law, and the theology of it shifts really dramatically each day.
Okay, so break those days down for us.
Well, day 1 focuses on Nuit, the goddess of the night sky, representing infinite space and boundless macrocosmic potential. Then day 2 zooms all the way into Hadit.
And what does Hadit represent?
He represents the infinitely small inner spark and motion, like the absolute core of the individual. Finally, day 3 introduces Rahurquit, bringing a really martial, active, conquering energy into the mix.
I do want to push back on the day 2 text, though, because it contains this really intense anti-rational mandate. Hadit demands followers avoid the, quote, pit called because, and perish with the dogs of reason.
Yeah, it's uncompromising.
Right. I mean, telling your followers to explicitly kill the concept of why sounds like a recipe for absolute chaos. If you destroy logic, you just have thoughtless random action. How does a spiritual philosophy function like that?
Well, it definitely looks like chaos to an outsider.
Yeah.
But in Thelema, it's actually about purity of action. In this framework, your true will is paramount. If you're pausing to ask why, you're just using societal logic and secondary rationalizations to paralyze yourself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. True will requires you to completely bypass the intellect, to execute your divine purpose without hesitation.
Well, that rejection of rationalism didn't just stay in the text either. It bled directly into how modern adherents actually physically celebrate this dictation, right? Through magical eating.
Yes, the food.
Yeah.
The religion mandates joy over fasting. So dining becomes sympathetic magic. You aren't just eating dinner. You are biologically forcing your body to mimic the specific cosmic energies of each day.
I love the visceral brilliance of this practice. So instead of starving to feel holy, practitioners literally ingest the energetic correspondences of the universe.
Exactly.
Like on day 1, to connect with Nuit's infinite space and stars, you consume watery blue and white foods like blueberry cheesecake.
Yeah, and then day 2 shifts to Hadid's inner fire. You eat deep yellows and golds, utilizing warming Moroccan spices to really stimulate that inner spark.
And by day 3, Rehorquit, you demand red, sweat-inducing Mexican or Spanish dishes to mirror that martial dominance.
Right. It all comes back to the core of Thelema, which is true will. It's a stringent, divine command to discover your absolute unique trajectory and then execute it flawlessly without an ounce of societal guilt.
It is such an intense framework, and it leaves you with something really provocative to think about. The Elamites believe that reading the text at exactly noon psychically collapses time back to 1904.
Right, bringing them right back to that apartment.
Yeah, so it makes you wonder, if you could reactivate the exact energy of the most profound moment of your own life simply by recreating its physical conditions, what moment would you choose to step back into?